Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining and just having fun discussing about books or games or just fun nerdy stuff that I like to talk about. Thanks for coming on. All right. So, I don't know if you guys have had a week like me. I have literally been sick for 2 weeks. 2. And no, it's not COVID. So, now you made me mess up. And I don't know if you guys like me, or when you get come back to work during that time, he's like, "How was your 2 weeks?" Like I sat here and went on vacation. No, I'm dying, coughing up a lung. So let's just get that out there. I didn't have a fun time being sick. Well, either way, rant over. So now that I am kind of on the mend, we're here today to talk about my favorite vampire series. Now I have it in here. Is it the right way? Oh, it's the right way. And we will reveal it, and then we will talk about it. Now, I had said before to try, maybe you guys can try and guess what it is, but you guys ready? That is not the book that I picked. No, that's not it. Let's be clear, I love Twilight. Team Jacob all the way. No haters. Just wanted to psych you guys out, because I said in my last video that it would not be Twilight. It's not Twilight. Still, do love this book. All right. The book we're actually going to talk about is Rachel Mead's Vampire Academy. I absolutely adore this series. This book's been out for a while, and I'm sure some of you have read it. This is a 6-book series. There is another series also after called Bloodlines, which is also fantastic that I absolutely adore. I don't know if Rachel Mead will ever extend another series based off that one. I hope she does because I just absolutely adore the characters and just the world. So, a little bit about this book. It's about two friends, Lissa and Rose, and they are both kind of in the first book in hiding, but end up getting caught and dragged back to their school at St. Vladimir. They get dragged back to school, which is a school for vampires and for Daemfers, which Daemfers are half human and half vampire. But they're trained to be guardians for the Mori vampires, which is what Lissa is. She is a Mori vampire and also a princess. So Rose is planning to be her guardian. They've been in hiding because there was some talk of Rose doesn't want Lissa getting hurt. So during this time, they end up getting caught by the lovely Dmitri, who is our beautiful Russian guardian, who happens to come in and help. Well, let's say, I shouldn't say help. At first, he kind of comes in and wrestles them and brings them back to St. Vladimir. Now they're back at school. So now you've got Lissa, who is studying pretty much her being a vampire, Mori vampire, and doing their studies. Each Mori vampire has what they call a magic ability, mostly based off an element. So that's usually what they're also learning as well. Now Rose is sent back to her training as a guardian, who she has to finish her training to be able to be Lissa's guardian. So they're both doing their own classes, kind of thing. So it's fun to watch because you're seeing these two different cultures. Like you're seeing Mori vampires, these pureblood vampires that have magical abilities. Then you're seeing these Daemfers who have the ability, the strength, and just agility, everything to be able to protect the Mori vampires, which is what they're there for. That's literally how they're treated. They're made and treated to pretty much be bodyguards for the Mori vampires. So there's that. What another part? So I got to say, what are my reasons for loving this series? My reasons are, it's not your typical vampire book. Like again, I'm going to kind of pick on Twilight a little bit, and maybe some. Let's see. No, probably just Twilight, but very popular, very love story. But it was basically surrounded by a love story of a vampire and a human. There's a lot that you see. But the one thing with the series that I like is it's not what it's about. Yes, there's forbidden love and there's all that in there, but you really get sucked into the world because there's more to this. You get sucked into the fact that there's more than one kind of vampire. There's the Mori, and then there's the Strigoi. Is they can turn the Mori into Strigoi vampires. One by drinking their blood and then forcing them to drink theirs, kind of the mix match thing. Or Mori vampires can willingly become Strigois by drinking their blood willingly. So that's just a couple of things there on how that happens. Because that's one of the things about this book you're going to see is that the Strigoi want to kill the Mori vampires. But then you've got some Mori who want to become Strigoi because they think they're stronger and they think that they're, I guess, better. But the problem with Moris becoming Strigoi vampires is they will lose their magic. They will not have any magic abilities and they will want to kill Mori vampires. So that's another thing about that. Mori vampires are the ones that have magical abilities. They can go in the sunlight for little amounts of time, and I shouldn't say little amounts of time. They can go in the sun. They just can't be out in the sun a lot. And then you've got Strigoi vampires who have pretty much are dead. They're regular vampires. They cannot go in the sunlight. They have to survive strictly on blood. They do not have magical abilities, but they're very much stronger than the Mori vampires, and pretty much wants to get rid of all of them and just become everybody be Strigoi vampires. Another thing you want to get into is this book gets really deep into these vampires' culture, their politics, their kind of this conspiracy theory going on with the queen and the next hierarchy, and there's a lot that goes on in these books. So it's not just a love story. This is a world that you're getting into. You're learning how this works. There's more than just the vampires. You know, there's the Guardians, there's the Alchemists. There's so much going on in these books that you just want to dig deeper and deeper to find out more. And that is what I love about this series. It's not one that you just pick up. You're kind of expecting what's going to happen. There's so much more that happens, and I gotta say, I love that about there. I gotta say, out of this book though, my favorite character is Rose. I love her. Her attitude, her willing to do anything for her friends. She's just fantastic. She's snarky, and she's gonna do what she needs to do no matter the cost. And I gotta say, I love her. She's my favorite character in these books. I love all the characters really, but I gotta say she's my top. She's my top number one. So again, like I said, there is another series off of this called Bloodlines, but again, this is a 6-book series, and I honestly recommend these books, but I also do recommend Bloodlines. It's a great series after, especially if you want that deep love story. Bloodlines really gets into that as well. So, but that is my review on Vampire Academy. I really think you guys should pick it up and give it a read. One good thing that I have heard is the maker of Vampire Diaries and Originals has actually taken on to start making Vampire Academy. Woo! I'm so excited. We do know, for some of us who have followed it, that Vampire Academy was a movie, and it didn't do so well. It sucked. I mean, sorry. I mean, I'm sure they tried their best, but it just wasn't good. It didn't come out good. They made it very high school, which, don't get me wrong, yes, these characters are in high school, but this is a whole nother world. This isn't a regular high school. These are vampires and dinfers. This is completely different, and the way it was made just didn't go very well, I think, to portray these characters. But, so I gotta say, I'm really excited to see how they do with the series. I know it's going to be on Peacock from what I have read so far, so I'm very excited to see what comes of that, because I absolutely adore Vampire Diaries. I love the originals, so I'm very excited to see how the director pulls this one off. I really think it's going to turn out great, so I'm really excited to see that come out, and I'll definitely be talking to you guys more about that, let you know what I think when the show, I guess, airs. I don't think there's a date yet for when it's going to air. I don't even think they've started filming yet, so we'll find out when that comes out. So that is actually my look on my favorite series for Vampire Academy. I'm excited about that. And, you know, thank you guys for coming by. If you like the video, please like it. It tells me if this is content that you guys like, that this is what you guys want to see. And then also, press that subscribe button. And follow me more for more videos about books and games, and just see what else we're going to talk about. We're just hanging out. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite vampire book? There's tons of vampire books out there, vampire series. There's Anne Rice, the Vampire Chronicles. You've got Vampire Diaries as a book, and then you've got like Vampire Academy, you've got Twilight, and so many other books out there that have vampires in them that are great. I believe there's a newer series out called Crave. I think that's also a vampire book. There's for you guys who like manga like I do, there's a Vampire Knight. I have not started that yet, but I've heard it's very good. There's so many different books out there that deals with vampires that do such a good creating the world. I'd love to hear your guys' favorite book, and maybe you guys have one that I haven't read. I'd love to hear about it. Please leave it in the comments, and thank you guys again for stopping by and listening to me talk about things that I love, which is books, and I'm very excited to discuss more with you guys, and tune into the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.